Well, good afternoon, everybody. Starting a little early today. It reminds me we have some special announcements coming up at the end of our episode, so make sure you stick around for that. So glad to see everybody here. Bob and Stanley and Leslie Ann. Yahoo to you too. So let's, I guess some people are getting rain here and there. I got a lightning warning earlier this morning. So let's talk about desktop organization, shall we? So this is Go for Lunch for October 24th. 2023. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we're here to make your technology work for you. Well, this is National Bologna Day. Now, I have some fond memories of when I was in grade school. My mom would make me bologna sandwiches to take to school for lunch, and I really liked them. I haven't had a bologna sandwich in decades. I may have to go buy some bologna and remedy that situation. So here's what I learned about bologna. Well, first of all, it came from Bologna, Italy, and it can be made out of beef or turkey or venison or chicken or even vegetarian soy protein. And the ingredients that make bologna are nutmeg, black pepper, coriander, allspice, celery seed, and the mystery ingredient, myrtle berries, whatever those are. So if anybody knows what myrtle berries are, please let me know. Well, last week was National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day, which was the inspiration for this week. And so we're going to talk about desktop organization and the reasons for keeping your desktop organized. A cluttered desktop can affect the performance of your Mac. Now, this is especially true if you are rocking a Intel Mac, an older Mac. Then when you have all your file view preview icons and folders up on the desktop everywhere, those have to be redrawn individually every time you do something in the Finder, and that will slow down your machine. So there's the number one reason to clean off your desktop. Another reason is to make it easier to find things. You know, when you have all those little icons there, some of them are overlapping. You can't read the titles. So you should plan on using the desktop only for temporary storage, and then once you're through with a document, then put it in the Documents folder for permanent storage. So we don't want this. I actually have seen desktops like this. No. Don't use your desktop as your junk drawer. So it makes it difficult to find what you need with so many files on your desktop. Not only that, it's a mess. And it's very difficult, as I said, to identify the file you need. So one thing you can do, though, to find files, because you can't read them, but we're going to clean them up anyway. But in the meantime, you can use Spotlight. So the best tip I ever give you is how to use Spotlight. And that is by using the keyboard shortcut, which is Command Spacebar. And let's just see how we do that. So we are going to go into the Finder. We're going to clean up the Finder by hiding others. And so here we are in the Finder, and we hit Command Spacebar, and here's Spotlight Search. Pops up right where you leave it. You could have it up here, you could have it down on the bottom. I like to have it kind of right here in the middle. So if I wanted to find something, I'm going to use Text Expander. So I want to find things that relate to GoFor Lunch. So you can see the first thing I got was a note from the Notes app. Then I got a folder. And then I also got documents, more folders, presentations. Those are keynote presentations. I got images. I got events. I got series suggested websites, which don't have anything to do with GoFor Lunch, but have something to do with healthy lunch. Bookmarks and history, and even mail messages. So you can see that Spotlight does a lot of things for you. In fact, you could launch an app. So if I just click here on the Notes app, it'll launch. And there it is. So you can use Spotlight as a launcher as well. So that is Spotlight. Now, Apple, in recent versions of the operating system, added a feature called stacks. So those are files of the same type that are automatically grouped in a stack. So it shows you the most recently added file on top. And the way you create stacks is you right-click anywhere in the Finder, and then you select Use Stacks. So when you right-click, you get a drop-down menu that looks exactly like this. And as you can see here, the check mark shows that Use Stacks is selected. So let's go to the Finder. And we're going to hide others. And we're going to hide. Okay, so here we are in the Finder. So I just click anywhere, right click, and you can see here, Use Stacks. So now you can see that okay, I can't hide my, let's see here. Okay, that is not working for me. Okay, so you could see that I only had a couple of things. I had a couple of images there that were the same, and they stacked on each other. So that's another way to clean up your desktop. An alias is another tool that can help you clean up your desktop. An alias actually points to the actual folder or file, but the alias is very small. So it doesn't take very long to deal with an alias, whereas if you have like images on your desktop, those are larger files, and they will take longer for the system to deal with and slow down your computer. So the way you get an alias is you right-click and you select on Make Alias. So that's right there in the middle. So let's see how that works. So we're going to go to the Finder again, and we're going to hide others. And here we are in the Finder. So I am going to drag this. So here's my contact card, and we are still in stacks, so I have to get out of stacks to move it. So let's just take this image here. So I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to make an alias. Okay, so the alias is right here. And you'll notice two things happen when you make the alias. Number one, you get a arrow. You can see the little black arrow here in the lower left hand corner. So that shows that it's an alias, and then also the word alias is attached to the file name. So now that I have an alias, I can take this original file and put it in my documents folder. So now it's in my documents folder. So you may wonder, how did he get his documents folder in the doc? Well, it's very simple. So when you're in the Finder, you just simply, I'm going to remove it here and show you how to do it. So to remove it, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to Options, Remove from Doc. So now it's gone. So the way you get your documents folder, and you could also use this for your downloads folder, is you grab it and you position your mouse so you can drag it all the way over here, and you go to the right of this vertical line and you drop it. Drag and drop. So now your documents folder is in your dock, which makes it really easy to clean up your desktop because you can just drop things right into your documents folder right there in your dock. So, to steal a phrase from Sesame Street, some of these things are like the others. So when you have some of those things like others, perhaps you should put them in folder. You have like things in one place, making them easier to find. So the way you can make a new folder is you go to the menu bar, click on File, and then New Folder. Or even better, you use the keyboard shortcut, which is Command, Shift, and N for New. And then you type a name for it. Well, let's demo that, shall we? So we're going to go into the Finder. And going to create some new folders here. So as I look in my Finder, so you also want to clean up your documents folder when you're in this desktop organization process. So you see here I have 4 documents that are all named similar. So now I'm going to go Shift Command N, and then I get an untitled folder here at the bottom. It's already highlighted, so all I have to do is start typing. I don't have to backspace or delete that. I just start typing and it will go away. So I'm going to call this CLC. No, I'm going to call it CLC Forms. Now, as soon as I hit Tab, it's going to alphabetize it and put it up with the other CLC documents. So now I can click on one end of the documents that I want to move, hold down the Shift key, and click on the other end, and then just drop that right into that folder. So you can see here I'm in the CLC Forms folder. If I hit my back arrow, I'm back in my documents, and there's our new folder. So down here I see I've got several files from T-Mobile. So we're going to do the same thing. We are going to go to our Finder. We're going to go Shift Command New, And we're going to call this T-mobile. And we're going to hit return. And we're going to grab these. So another way to grab files is to click on the first one and hold down the command key as you click on the second one. And of course you can use this technique to grab files that are not contiguous. So there we have them. We drop them in there and that's all cleaned up. So I have another example here. We got 3 files from tmug. So we're going to do Shift Command N. We're going to type tmug, return. We're going to click on the first one, shift click on the last one, drag and drop. So now we've cleaned up our documents folder by taking like files and putting them in folders, making them easy to find. So while you're here, you might check for things you no longer need. For example, here is WWDC 23. So this was for a presentation last June for the Worldwide Developers Conference, where I took a bunch of screenshots to show you what was new. And so that's history. I don't need that anymore. So I can either right click on that and move it to trash, or the keyboard shortcut is Command, so I have to select it first, Command delete. And now it is in the trash. So that is how we can do that. So that's our presentation on organizing your desktop and beyond. So if you haven't already, please type any questions into the comments right down below here, or actually it would be over there. And please, if you would be so kind, to share the GoFor Gazette, which comes out every Monday morning about 7 o'clock, with people you know that use Apple devices, so we can help them too. So Zoom updated yesterday to version 5.16.5. So if your Zoom doesn't automatically update, make sure you update before the next meeting. And here's one of those special announcements I told you to stay tuned for. Take Control Books, which publishes ebooks about many things to do with your Mac hardware and software. They are celebrating their 20th anniversary. So all of their books are on sale for $5. Normally, they're usually around $15 a piece. So between now and the 28th of October, you can buy any Take Control book for $5. And they have a free Take Control of Thanksgiving book, which not only gives you recipes and upgrades to maybe existing recipes that you already have, but also it goes into the logistics of organizing your Thanksgiving celebration. And that book is free. So the link for Take Control books is right down there in the description. And now, late breaking news. Apple announced today that they're going to have a presentation on October 30th called Scary Fast. So we certainly know what the scary part is relating to, and we can guess, based on the rumors that we've been hearing, is the fast part is talking about M3 processors. So the Apple Silicon has the M1 and the M2 now, so the guessing is that they're going to introduce M3 possibly in MacBooks and maybe even a 24-inch iMac. But we won't know for sure until 5 p.m. Pacific time on October 30th, which happens to be a Monday. So I will be doing a recap just for you on Tuesday And it's kind of interesting that they're doing this at 5 instead of the mid-morning time that they usually use. So that is another interesting thing. So late October Apple keynote with new products being announced. So we will recap that on October 31st. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Hello, Gretchen. Glad to see you here. And Susan says, off topic, but you were chatting about iOS. Do I need to wait for the .3 for the iPhone and the iPad if there's nothing on them I couldn't easily replace? And do I wait for .3 on my Mac? Well, yeah, so traditionally we wait for the .3 on all operating systems. There's just little eccentricities that are discovered that are a nuisance when you come across them. So you certainly can upgrade now. I think the .1 is out now. If you want to be a little more cautious, you could wait for the .2, and if you want to be very cautious, you could wait for the .3. So that is my take on when you should upgrade. So if you don't want to be on the bleeding edge of technology, have a little patience and wait. So Susan mentions that she bought 7 Take Control books on sale, and that's a good point that many times they update for free. So when a new operating system comes out, they will usually do an update to accommodate those changes. Sometimes if the book's been out for a long time, they do have an upgrade price. And Chris is admitting that screenshots fill up his desktop. So now I knew you knew what to do before, Chris, but hopefully this will be some impetus to clean up that desktop. Are Take Control indie books? Don't know what you mean by indie. They're ebooks, so you can read them in the Apple Books app. You can get them as a PDF. You get them as an EPUB, which they work in Apple Books app. And they work in Kindle. I think that EPUB books work in Kindle. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that you could read a Take Control book on a Kindle. So great questions. I appreciate that. When you ask a question, it helps other people. So don't hesitate to ask a question. There are no stupid questions. Never, ever. So if there are no more good questions, or what you might think is a stupid question but really isn't, we will close this out. If you think of something you'd like to know, like a topic you'd like me to cover, my contact information will be coming up here momentarily. Feel free to call me or email me, and we'll see if we can't get that done for you. So thanks very much. Glad to see you all here today, and have a great rest of your week. We'll be back here next Tuesday at high noon.